They will try to break you, not with war, but with whispers, delays, distractions, and tiny betrayals dressed up as kindness. They won't attack head-on. They'll wear you down slowly with disappointment, false affection, and silence at the exact moment you needed a hand. And the truth is, you'll allow it, until the version of you they could reach simply stops existing. To become unbreakable, you have to bury the belief that anyone is coming to save you. No one's coming. This world respects power, not pain. Results, not excuses. You don't become unbreakable by yelling back. You become unbreakable by smiling through the bleeding, walking while drained, and standing steady in storms that would shatter most people. Machiavelli didn't put faith in mercy. He put faith in results. He understood that the colder, quieter, and less readable you become, the harder it is for anyone to control you. That's power. That's how you become untouchable. And when they finally understand they can't reach you anymore, when your pain has turned into precision, they'll regret ever mistaking you for someone soft. This isn't motivation. This is evolution. You don't just survive. You outlast. You want to be unbreakable? Then hear this. No one is born that way. You arrive in this world soft, needy, hopeful, and the world doesn't care. That hopeful version of you, the innocent one, that's the first thing that dies. The funeral. You don't need more inspiration. You need a funeral for the version of you that reacts too fast, waits too long, pleads too easily, forgives too freely. Because no matter how strong your body becomes, you'll never be unbreakable until you kill what keeps you fragile, your dependence on weakness, emotion, and validation. The first enemy isn't out there. It's the voice in your head whispering, "Take it easy. You deserve rest. You've been through enough." Kill that voice. Machiavelli understood what most men never learn. You must separate emotion from execution. If you want to rule, rise, conquer, you must act even when you don't feel like acting, especially when you don't feel like it. That's the test. The test everyone wants to be strong until the price is losing who they used to be. But here's the secret. To be unbreakable, you have to become someone new. The old you, the soft version, is addicted to validation. It wants approval, it wants acceptance, it wants rest. But the truth is, you cannot. The truth, you cannot be liked and feared at the same time. Only fear commands respect when everything else collapses. So what must you do? Silence the urge to explain yourself. Kill the instinct to be understood. Erase the need to be saved. No one will save you. Not friends, not family, not life. They may care. They may even love you. But love doesn't protect you from chaos. Only discipline, detachment, and focus do. And they are built alone, quietly, ruthlessly. If you want to be unbreakable, become boring to the weak but terrifying to the unaware. You don't chase drama, you outgrow it. You don't respond to disrespect, you eliminate it. You don't prove anything, you endure, then return stronger, colder, sharper. That's what breaks them. They expect your collapse, you give them silence. They want your reaction, you give them absence. They beg for your weakness, you give nothing. Every day, kill the version of you that hesitates. Hesitation is weakness. Emotion is leverage. Kindness, when not used strategically, is currency for the poor. You must become calculated, every step intentional, every word rare, every move quiet. They shouldn't know your phase. You are not in recovery. You are in transformation. Let them mock you while you suffer. Let them speak while you train. Let them laugh while you disappear. When you return, they won't recognize you. That is the goal. To be forgotten while building, feared when finished. To become unbreakable is not a mindset. It is a war against your old identity, a war against comfort, a war against the world's demand that you remain small, soft, and safe. You cannot keep your old self and level up. That version must burn. Be ruthless. Be silent. Be gone until the world asks, "Where did he go?" Then trembles when they see what you became. Be ruthless. The most powerful moves happen when no one is watching. You want to be unbreakable? Stop broadcasting your battles. Stop sharing your progress. Stop needing to be seen while you evolve. The strongest transformation is the one they never witness. Machiavelli understood the value of obscurity. He knew that true. The value of obscurity. Power doesn't grow in the spotlight. It grows in the shadows, where silence holds, pressure builds, and no one else can feel what you carry. While they scroll, you train. While they talk, you study. While they rest, you suffer with purpose. And they laugh because they don't see results yet. Let them. You're not building for collapse. You're building for control. There is power in disappearing. When you pull your presence away from their lives, their expectations, you rob them of access. You rob them of updates. You rob them of the ability to measure your progress. And that drives people insane. They cannot control what they cannot see. They cannot mock what they cannot measure. They cannot sabotage what they cannot track. Your silence becomes your shield. Your absence becomes your advantage. Because, while they think nothing is happening, everything is. This is where most people fail. They want recognition before they earn it. They want support before they deserve it. They want applause during the process instead of at the end. But applause makes you soft. Recognition makes you slow. And support, if you depend on it, becomes your leash. Cut the leash. Move in total obscurity. Do not post. Do not explain. Do not announce. Build in such silence that your return feels like an attack. Let them forget you. Let them assume you failed. Let them mock you behind closed doors. Because when you come back, they won't recognize the version of you that emerges. That's the goal. You're not meant to be understood while you're building. You're not meant to be celebrated mid-transformation. You're meant to be invisible. Because invisibility is power. They can't prepare for what they don't see. They can't defend against what they don't expect. And when you come out, not broken but upgraded, you won't need to speak. Your results will speak louder than any explanation ever could. Let your silence build curiosity. Let your distance create respect. Let your discipline inspire fear. Only the loud beg for attention. The dangerous don't ask. They appear, sharp, calm, unshakable, and everything changes. You want to be unbreakable. Then get addicted to isolation. Not because you hate the world, but because you're rebuilding yourself in ways the world was never meant to understand. Let them think you disappeared. Let them think you gave up. Let them think they were right. That's the trap. While they judge, you become the version of yourself they'll regret ever underestimating. One day, you'll return. Not with an announcement, not with a smile, not with a thank you, but with results so undeniable, they'll be forced to respect the version of you they never supported. That is the revenge. Not words, not anger, not proof, just presence. Calm, focused, untouchable. And when they ask where you've been, you just look and walk away. You were never gone. You were building in silence. There is no strength without control. You can be smart, driven, talented. But if you can't control your emotions, you are fragile, easily manipulated, easily provoked, easily broken. That makes you prey. In Machiavellian terms, emotion is a weapon, but only when used strategically. Uncontrolled emotion is a leash, a trigger they pull to make you dance. You want to be unbreakable? Master one thing above all: emotional silence. Emotional silence. Not just outside, but within. Your mind must be a battlefield without noise, panic, or chaos. When you're calm, you control the pace. When you're still, you control the room. When you don't react, they exhaust themselves, trying to reach you, and you win without lifting a hand. Most people live like exposed wires, short-fused, unstable, easy to set off. They snap at insults, crumble under pressure, drown in rejection. Control isn't about being numb. It's about knowing when to feel and how to hide it. You don't show anger. You bury it and convert it into precision. You don't show sadness. You weaponize it into clarity. You don't show excitement. You study the moment and stay composed. You never let them know what moves you. Machiavelli said, "A wise man should appear merciful, faithful, humane, sincere, and religious, but must be ready to act, otherwise when necessary. In other words, wear the mask, play the part, but don't be owned by emotion. You are not a slave to your feelings. You are their commander. Once you understand this, no one can control you with approval, rejection, flattery, or shame. That is true freedom. Look around, look around. How many are prisoners to their moods? One comment ruins their day. One mistake shatters their confidence. One loss derails their progress. They think their emotions are valid. But validation doesn't equal power. Power is the ability to keep moving forward, regardless of how you feel. You think kings cry in public. You think leaders explain every frustration. You think wolves share their hunger with sheep. Power. The moment you expose your emotions, you give others leverage. You hand them the ability to shape your choices, manipulate your path, and control you, while you lose control of yourself. Control starts here. Observe more, react less. When someone insults you, observe. When someone lies, observe. When someone tries to provoke you, observe. Don't react. Don't explode. Don't explain. Your silence confuses them. Your stillness unnerves them. Nothing frightens people more than someone who refuses to be emotionally moved. They throw fire. You stay cold. They beg for a reaction. You stay still. They scream to trigger you. You don't even blink. That is power. And it's not just about handling people. It's about facing life. When tragedy strikes, you stay clear. When failure hits, you stay sharp. When success comes, you stay grounded. Nothing outside can shake what's controlled inside. This doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you've disciplined your feelings. You've broken the chains of emotional impulse and built a system instead. You don't scream. You plan. You don't cry out. You move in silence. You don't prove your worth. You execute relentlessly. And when people try to study you, they find nothing. No outbursts, no weakness, no chaos. You become unreadable, and unreadable is unbreakable. The strongest minds in history moved this way. Never loud, never dramatic. Cold, calculated, detached. Not because they were evil, but because they were in control. Emotional control doesn't make you a monster. It makes you untouchable. Stop reacting. Start responding with silence. Let your composure confuse them. Let your patience punish them. Let your discipline make you dangerous. When nothing moves you, when your emotions no longer dictate your decisions, you become something most people will never understand. Loyalty is temporary. Face this brutal truth. Loyalty is temporary. Most people aren't loyal to you. They're loyal to their need for you. The moment their need changes, so does their loyalty. The sooner you accept this, the more unstoppable you become. No matter how pure your intentions, people will leave. No matter how much you give, they will betray. No matter how kind you are, they will forget. Stop expecting loyalty. Expect nothing. Machiavelli never believed in the illusion of eternal allies. He said the promise given was a necessity of the past, and the word broken a necessity of the present. People switch sides. They always have. You want to be unbreakable. The mistake isn't in trusting others. It's in depending on them. You want to be unbreakable? Stop leaning on anyone. You must become your own structure, your own savior, your own army. The world doesn't punish the weak. It forgets them. People will clap when you win. They will clap when you succeed. But they'll also smile when you fall. Not out of hate, but quiet envy. Because deep down, they know they couldn't have survived what you did. That makes them uncomfortable. So they ghost you when you struggle, doubt you when you dream, vanish when you need them most. Good. Let them. It's better to walk alone than carry dead weight. Let isolation refine you. Unbreakable men aren't made in crowds. They are forged in the silence of abandonment. The real turning point. There comes a moment when everything fades. The people, the support, the distractions. You're left with one thing, your will. That's the real turning point. When you stop looking outward and turn inward. When you stop begging for backup and build yourself into someone who never needs to be saved again. The truth. The fewer people you depend on, the stronger you become. Independence is your insurance against betrayal. Don't be shocked when people leave. Don't be broken when people change. Expect it. Anticipate it. Be ready for it. It's not about hate. When you no longer expect loyalty, you're free. Free from disappointment, free from weakness, free from waiting on anyone to carry you through fire. It's not about hate. You don't need to hate them. You simply outgrow the illusion that anyone will love you more than themselves. Most won't sacrifice for you. Most won't stay when it's inconvenient. Most won't bleed with you when you're down. Most won't sacrifice. And that isn't tragedy. It's a blessing. Now you know the only loyalty you need is to your mission, your goal, your vision, the war you were born to win. You don't win wars by hoping your soldiers won't defect. You win by being strong enough to finish the battle, even if you're the only one left standing. Let people leave. Let them lie. Let them be solid shift, fade, betray. Let them. You remain, because you were never here to be surrounded. You were here to be solid. Train yourself to operate alone, to work when no one claps, to move without permission, to rise without help. Real power lives in these places, in the shadows of betrayal, in the silence of self-discipline, in the cold truth that no one owes you anything. And you don't need them to. Because when they're all gone, and they will be, you'll still be standing, sharper, harder, colder, unbreakable. You must face one final law. If you want to be unbreakable, accept this. You must be willing to walk alone, forever. Not for a season. Not until people support you. Not until someone understands. Forever. The most dangerous man isn't the one who's loved by many. It's the one who needs no one. Machiavelli understood the loneliness of true power. Those who rise far above others must first detach from them, not out of hate, not out of pride, out of necessity. Walking alone is not punishment, it's purification. It strips away noise, filters out the weak, reveals who you are when there's no applause, no validation, no audience. Most people crumble. Most people lose themselves in isolation. Their motivation dies without attention. Their grind stops when no one notices. But not you. You grow colder, sharper, more dangerous. They fear loneliness. You turn it into a weapon. And when you walk alone long enough, something changes. Your self-worth becomes internal. You stop seeking permission. You stop explaining your vision. You stop chasing validation. You simply build, silently, relentlessly, without interruption. Most people will never understand that kind of strength. They think power is loud. They think leadership is social. They think respect comes from connection. But unbreakable men know respect comes from distance, from the aura that says, I don't need you. I don't need approval. I don't owe an explanation. That's why they fear you. They can't guilt you. They can't control you. They can't manipulate someone who doesn't crave their presence. People attach themselves to those they think they can shape. But when you choose solitude, you become a mystery. And mystery is power. You become unbreakable. When they don't know where you are, what you feel, or who you trust, they move carefully. You become unpredictable. You become untouchable. But here's the truth most people aren't ready to face. This path will cost you. It will cost relationships. It will cost fake friends. It will cost comfort, warmth, and temporary peace. But what you gain is worth everything. You gain clarity. Focus. Power no one can take from you. And then it hits you. Walking alone doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're walking a path no one else has the strength to step onto. Let them call you cold. Let them say you've changed. Let them whisper that you're distant. They don't get it. You didn't leave them. You simply outgrew the need to be understood by the average. Soft people need approval. Fragile people need company. But the one who becomes unbreakable, he moves alone. Not because he has no one, but because he chose solitude over weakness. He moves alone. Even if no one claps, even if no one sees, even if no one follows. Because the man who walks alone builds what the world fears. A mind no one can access, a focus no one can shake, a strength no one gave him and no one can take away. So keep walking. Walk when they doubt you. Walk when they mock you. Walk when they forget you. Walk when it hurts. Walk when you're tired. Walk when all you have left is your vision and your breath. Because one day, the same people who watched you disappear will ask how you did it. And you won't answer. You'll just keep walking. Unbreakable, untouchable, alone, and completely in control. If this hits something real inside you, if you're done begging, explaining, waiting, if you're ready to disappear and return more powerful than ever, then do one thing right now. Vanish. Go build. Go suffer in silence. And when you return, return unrecognizable. Your future doesn't belong to the loud. It belongs to the ones who never stopped walking.